All right, fellas. Here we go. So this is officially day one of phase two. So this is week 5 of 8, and so basically week 1 of 4 in the smaller scheme of things. And so just like last block where we started with plyometric push-ups, and then the second day we did like the concentric drops or eccentric drops. A lot of stuff is being changed. And one of those being the power primer. So we're going to do this supine setup where I have the med ball in hand. I'm going to take my like a floor press position, and we're just going to yeet this thing up towards the ceiling. I'm going to try and not get hit in the face. That's part of the drill, is having the hand-eye coordination to catch the ball on the way down. In certain contexts, you would probably have a spotter or your trainer or whoever catch the ball for you and then just hand it back to you. But obviously, I am the trainer, so I have to do a good job of pressing this and then catching it on return. The good news is it's only 3 sets of 3, so, very easy today. And we're just going to yeet it up. I got to sit up a little bit to catch that one. Ooh, I actually hit my ceiling. Actually hitting my ceiling. I might need a heavier ball. Regrettably, I don't have one. So here's what I might do. Well, no, I don't want to do that either. We're just going to aim for the ceiling. If I'm not hitting the ceiling, then I'm being a wuss. Ugh. We got 2 more of those. Okay, so now I did some contemplating, and I forgot that I have, I don't know, the entire world outside to throw this thing. So I just came outside the garage. Now, the downside is, no pun intended, I'm on a slope. So I'm wondering if I yeet this, if it's going to go over my head. I have to probably throw a little far forward, I imagine. Same position though. I'm just going to go. I like that. No longer hitting the ceiling. And I'm not even getting above my house. Not that I imagine I would. But that works. Cool. So we'll just do that one more time. All right, here we go. Last set of 3. Surprisingly, this is working better than expected. I'm aiming for above my gutters. Ooh, that was a little over the head. Surprisingly, working really well. Now, time to bench. All right, so this is our KPI, just regular flat bench. No competition pause or anything like that. It's just regular touch and go flat bench. Today we're working up to the 3 top set goals, I guess. So we're doing a top set of 5, we're doing a top set of 4, and then 2 sets of 3. All of those are going to be like RPE 8-ish, maybe 7. And that's just because it's week 1. Not really sure how everything's going to feel. And so the threshold to a rep max is going to be, a little askew. So anyway, top set of 5, top set of 4, 2 sets of 3, none of them being true rep maxes. Okay, so obviously we got empty bar behind us, so we're just going to go ahead and knock this out. And I always like to do my first set with an empty bar, regardless of what it is, on compounds, just because they are so technically demanding. Every rep is practice, right? So I try to get as much practice in as possible. And again, we're doing 5 because that first set is going to be a set of 5. So I'll probably do 5s all the way up, just to gauge it more appropriately. And I'm thinking probably off the top of my head for 5. 225 maybe, somewhere in that range. Because I've rep maxed, I think, 225 for like 12 reps. I think I've done like 225 for 12 before. And not fresh either. So I think for 5, I don't know, it might be more than that. I don't know. We'll see. Fuck it. We're going to take basically no rest here. I'm just going to load the 45s on and we're immediately going to get into it. Here we are, 135 on the board. Whoop. Where's my remote? All right, so we'll go 185 just to make sure that I don't get too far ahead of myself. I want every rep to feel really good. So we'll do 185 and then probably jump straight to 225. And if 225 for 5 is cake, I'm thinking probably like 245 or maybe even 255 and just kind of see how that feels. Because again, I'm not trying to end up at a max. I'm trying to be within that like RPE 7 to 8 range. So we'll see. All right, 185. Again, rest periods are still super short. And even when we get to the top, we're not going to be resting longer than like 90 seconds. So. Feeling fine. 225 it is, and we'll see how it goes. All right, 225 on the bar. Again, we're going for 5. Improvement from here is going to be dictated on how close to a 5 RM this feels, which, I mean, I've touch and go benched 345, 350. But again, just like squats, my 1 RM potential is so much higher than my rep potential. So, with that being said, 225 could feel reasonably heavy for 5 RM, despite my 1 RM being so high, relatively speaking. So, I don't know. We're just going to play it by ear. I kind of hit record and I wasn't ready, so I'm kind of yapping to procrastinate a little bit. It's not due to fatigue, it's just I'm kind of out of focus. But anyway, 225 for 5. And like I said, maybe 245 or 255 if this doesn't feel heavy enough. But we'll see. I feel like I could probably do 245. 255 is a little aggressive. I think 245 for 5, though. It'll feel pretty good. I was a little uneven on the first couple reps there. I could feel the left side kind of coming down first. So, I think 245 is reasonable, though. 235 is almost... I don't know. 235 might be better. But... I don't know what I want to do. I'll probably just do 245 and say fuck it. If I'm closer to a 5 RM, well, you know, who cares? All right, 245 on the bar. Going for R5. Again, if we're closer to that 5 RM than intended, it's not that big of a deal. So, but then we're going to a set of 4 and then 2 sets of 3. So we're going to keep climbing here regardless. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go 235 because I feel like that was like right where I wanted it to be, like 7 or 8. It was like right there. So cool. We're probably gonna go for 4 reps. Maybe 265. Put another 20 pounds on there. 265 for 4. I feel like that's pretty doable. And then maybe like 275 for 2 sets of 3. That should be pretty feasible, I think. That sounds good. Because again, we're going to increase intensity week to week, just like we did for like squats and incline press from the prior block. So I think that's a good plan. Let's do it. All right, fellas. 265 on the bar. We're going for 4 reps, down from 5. Just a single set, and then we're going to triples. Nice and easy. Easy peasy. Just like I said. So now, we'll do 275 for 2 sets of 3. That should be pretty doable. Yeah, 285 is a little ballsy. Because it's already feeling kind of heavy. I feel my hips shooting up just a little bit. So, I'm going to work on kind of dialing that in a little bit. 275 should be very doable for 2 sets of 3. So we're going to take a quick break, about 90 seconds-ish, and then we'll do it again. All right, guys. 275 on the bar, 2 sets of 3. All right, so first set of 3 shouldn't really be a problem. 90-second rest, and then we'll do it again. I imagine the second set is probably what's going to suck. I imagine the first one won't be that bad, but we'll see. Who knows? It could be the complete opposite. I've had that happen before, where the first set feels like shit. Second set feels way better. Okay. And I am going to do a better job of keeping the hips locked down. They were just barely staying on last set. So I'm going to do a little bit better of a job. Keep those locked in. That was way better. Hips were locked in the whole time. Cool. So quick break, and then we do it again. All right, here we go. Last set here. 275 for 3. Hopefully the second set here feels as good as the first one did. Yeah, and then it's smooth sailing from here on out. A bunch of accessory stuff. Rows. We're doing a dumbbell variation. Arms. And there's some stuff at the end. I can't remember what it is. Whatever. We're focused on the here and now. 275 for 3, which is way better than I thought, actually. So the discrepancy between my reps and my 1RM, a little narrower than I initially expected, which is good. I know some people... Actually, you know what? I'd probably say the majority of people probably have a smaller discrepancy between their reps and their 1RM. Because at least I see a lot of posts about people like, you know, they use like the rep max calculators. I'm like, oh, I did 315 for 10. I should be able to do, I don't know, fucking 400 plus for 1. But they start failing even around like 380, 390. And it's because their body is not conditioned to super heavy loads. So as soon as they cross like a threshold of like, wow, this shit is fucking heavy, their technique just falls apart. So I think that's probably more common than the inverse of being really good at 1RMs and then your rep work sucks. Although those people do exist. because they're me. Of course I know him. He's me. As easy as the first one. Let's go. All right, so we are moving into seal rows. So I got the seal row pad set up, and then my dumbbells here. I like using the dumbbells for the seal row just because the barbell or any sort of other implement ends up hitting the bottom of the seal row like brace. And you just can't really get like, you know, full ROM from there. You can get good ROM, but not full ROM. So I like using dumbbells, which usually isn't a problem because my dumbbells go up to 125. So it's not like I'm not lifting that much ever, even on chest supported. So we're doing kind of like a descending ladder. So it's just 11, 9, 7, obviously going up every set. First week, obviously, is going to be kind of a miss because I don't really know where to start. Well, I mean, I have an idea, but like usually it's less than you can actually do because there needs to be an acclimation phase there. But anyway, 11 reps up first. I got the 50s. This should be nice and light just to kind of feel everything out. Ugh. No straps. Probably not for the first week either, but we'll see. Ooh, yeah, I got some joint pop in there. That felt good. Ooh. Oh, yeah, that's nice and heavy. 70s for 9. Ugh, I had to remember. Easy. Now we're going to 80 for 7. Oh yeah, nice. Oh. Nice. Now, in future weeks, when I kind of run out of room doing it raw, throw straps on and be able to squeeze out God knows how many extra pounds. So, anyway, that's done. We're going to incline bench now, so I'm going to get this seal row pad out of the way, wheel the bench out here, and we're doing incline press. But I think 975. I think it's 975. Yeah, because we're going pretty heavy on the dumbbells. So 3 sets incline press. It's going to be at 30 degrees, and then arm stuff at the end. So here we go. You sit down so I'm in frame. 975. We're going to do 70, 80, 90. I think. 70 I think should be fine. 80 I think is going to be pretty hard. And then 90 will probably be super hard. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Because I normally don't do like press variations this late. Like normally all the pressing is first and then I do all my pulling after. But I don't know. I might surprise myself because it hasn't been a whole lot of work. Fucking, 3x3 tosses and then fucking, you know what I mean? Like it hasn't been a whole lot of anything compared to like my usual shit. So anyway, I did it again. I hit record and I'm not ready, but fuck it. 70's on here. Actually, no, I think this is 80. I haven't changed it yet. So we're gonna go down to 70 9 reps. Oh. Ooh, that's heavy. Not too heavy though. Woo! Buddy. Not too bad. Again, 80 for 7. Which, based off of how easy that was, relatively speaking, I think we're like right on target. So, again, week 1, bro. So I'm not trying to like, you know, go crazy. We're week 5 technically. So I'm not trying to go super crazy. All right. Oh. 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 Woo! Oh yeah, that's starting to get pretty heavy. One more. That counts, by the way. Oh, hips came up a little bit. Oh. Hips came up a little bit on that last one, but I think that was pretty good. All right. Boom. Oh. Nice. All right. Tricep pushdowns. We're doing a tempo variation this time. So what I'm looking for is 3 count eccentric and a 2 count pause with the arms extended. Ugh. We're gonna do 3 sets of 7. Split stance again, I think. Pause, and then 2, 3. Three. Number 6. 7. That 40 pounds is a good weight, so we're gonna stay there. 2 more sets. All right, set number 2. I had a thought. What if I set up this way? But I feel like it'd be too close in my face. So I just kind of wish I had a way to brace here. Like, I don't know. It feels kind of awkward having to like hinge so far over. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just kind of winging it, dude. Oh. 3, 4. It's Whew. I might add a little bit of change because that second one was way easier than the first. So I might throw some 5s on there. Try that. Set number 3, we added some change. Shouldn't be too bad considering how easy set 2 was, but I don't know. I might do that first rep and be like, "Oh, that was a mistake." But we'll see. Oh. That was a mistake. Oh. One more for good luck. Ow. God. Alright guys, hopefully I am in the frame for this whole thing. This is a bicep blaster, basically. I got a few bicep blasters. So basically, I mean, you can technically eliminate the hammer curls off of this and just do the TRX version, but I wanted to get some hammer stuff in conjunction with this because I basically did all supinated curls for the last 4 weeks. So in this case, it's just going to be TRX isometric hold to start. So similar to when we did the split squats and we sink down and we hold it for 15 seconds and then bang out the reps. Doing the same thing here with biceps. 15-second hold, and then you'll do some reps, which I'm only doing 5, just because I have no idea how hard this is going to be. And then I'm tackling on the dumbbell curls just for 8 reps after. Because this is all experimentation. I'm not necessarily sure how hard this is going to be. So this could also change in future weeks too, just depending on how it goes. Anyway, we're going to lean back a little bit. I don't want to be too far back. Because again, the more vertical you are, the easier it is. The further down you go, obviously it's harder. So I normally get my feet right on that the edge of the stall mat, somewhere around there. We are hanging out for 15. Slow eccentric. Ugh. 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 I'm trying to keep elbows high. Ugh. One more. It's about as hard as I thought it was going to be. That's for sure. Okay. And some hammers. Gee, get crazy here. Oh, whew. Oh. That was reasonably difficult. So, right on. We're gonna do that one more time, and then we'll be all done. Right at 90 minutes. So, dope. What was I saying? That's it. I don't know. I thought I had a thought, but I don't. I don't know why I'm talking, because I'm just going to edit all this out, so it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, here we go. Set 2. And I believe my feet were on the mat. I started out here and it wasn't hard enough. So I'm pretty sure I got feet on the mat. So we'll start there again. Oh, okay. And I am using my TRX only because for things like flies and like curls and skull crushers and stuff, the soft handles on the TRX feel so much better compared to the rings. I think the rings are really good for like rows and push-ups and stuff. But for like isolation stuff, I think the soft TRX handles feel way better. But I have the grip tape on there too. Grip tape softens up the rings a little bit too, so without like making it feel as cushy as the TRX. I don't know. It's like a weird in between. Oh God. Whew. Yeah, elbows high. Eccentric. Oh. 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 God. Ironically, this is the worst part. Oh. Oh. Nice job. Woo. Toasty. All right, so that was day 1 of the second phase here. Again, this is week 5 of 12, but every 4 weeks is a separate like phase, right? So weeks 1 through 4 were kind of like that acclimation because we're coming off of an entirely different training block in terms of stimulus. So those first 4 weeks have to be, gradual application of whatever activity you're chasing, which in our case here is sprinting. So I only had 1 day at the field, but 2 days I was practicing like, plyometrics and stuff. And some general strength work was obviously kept at the forefront. And now that we're in week 5, everything's getting ramped up. So speaking of that, intensity for the upper body days has gone up a little bit. The second upper body day of the week is still easy, relatively speaking, because we basically have Tuesday, which is a field day, Wednesday, which is a tempo run, and then Thursday, which is that upper body day. That session has to be easy because then we go to the field again on Friday. So like you basically have like 3 lower body training sessions all like in the same like short time frame. So like there has to be a break there somewhere. So that Thursday upper body day cannot be hard in any of the phases here. So which is taken care of again, of course. But like I said, we're going to the field twice now. So tomorrow we'll be at the field, and then we get to come home and heavy front squat, which is going to be fucking sick. Can't wait for that. Which I'm good at front squats. At least I like to think so. It's just a matter of having to run some sub-max sprints, but still, I mean, you're still running sprints, and then having to come home and squat. I know that's gonna fucking suck, but we'll see how it goes. And again, like I had mentioned a few videos ago, like training's hard, and you got to recover just as hard, right? And sometimes that's just doing the simple things better or more often or more consistently. So, going to bed on time, getting plenty of consistent sleep, not just being in bed for a long time, but actually sleeping consistently. And then not to mention, eating like an adult, taking your multivitamin, doing everything you need to do, staying as active as possible, which is something I personally struggle with because I am the type that will train and then literally just sit on my ass the rest of the day. And partially that's because training is so hard that I feel worn out. But I have to get used to just doing easy walks. Not everything has to be, an Olympic training session. Like I can just get out here and just go for a nice easy walk. Because even maintaining that 110 to 120 BPM zone is good for recovery. So anyway, enough yapping, and I will see you guys tomorrow for our first field day of the week. And again, it's nothing crazy. Power sprint drills changed a little bit, so I'll be recording those. And then we have some sub-max sprints, and then the usual jumps, throws, prehab, and then front squats. So, adios.